In 2015, there were 382,000 incidents of violent crime. In 2024, there were almost 592,000. That's a 55% increase. Any way you slice it, Minister, is an objective fact that crime is worse now than it was in 2015. Are you willing to accept reality, or are you going to choose to remain oblivious to what's happening in this country?
Look, I can
Thank you, Chair. Minister Fraser, Justice officials, welcome to Justice Committee. Minister, since your government took office in 2015, crime in this country has been spiraling out of control. Violent crime up 55%, homicides up 30%, sex assaults up 76%, gun crime up 130%, and extortion shockingly up 330%. And yet, over the last 570 days, your government has only introduced 2 justice bills, C-63 and C-9, neither of which do anything to address the revolving door for violent repeat offenders. Why, Minister, after a year and a half, is your first legislative priority a bill that restricts free speech instead of protecting Canadians from violent repeat offenders?
Mr. Chair, with enormous respect to my colleague, I view the question to diminish the importance of the legislation that we're here to discuss today. Treating hate crimes as something less than urgent when members of affected communities are experiencing painful realities as a result of the hate that is lobbied upon them is not, in my view, the appropriate way to engage in this conversation. For the members' information, as we've discussed privately, we expect this fall, granted I've been in this position for a matter of a few months, most of which the House wasn't sitting, but this fall we have tabled the legislation we're here to discuss today. Within a matter of weeks, we will have one of the most comprehensive sets of reforms when it comes to the bail system and tougher sentences that our country has seen in many years, and a third bill before Christmas regarding intimate partner violence, sexual offences, and the role of victims in the process.
Thank you, Minister. I'm taking back my time.
Mr. Brock, I understand that the Minister should be succinct in his answers, but just let him finish his thought.
Yes, I'm taking a look at the time it took me to pose the question, sir, and I've given him actually an extra 10 seconds to respond.
Go ahead.
Do I have my time?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Minister, in 2015, there were 382,000 incidents of violent crime. In 2024, there were almost 592,000. That's a 55% increase. Any way you slice it, Minister, is an objective fact that crime is worse now than it was in 2015. Are you willing to accept reality, or are you going to choose to remain oblivious to what's happening in this country?
Look, I can recognize that crime and violent crime is a problem in Canada. That's why we are moving forward with an ambitious legislative agenda that's going to toughen the criminal justice system. But it's important that we realize that there are additional solutions. In addition to our changes to the bail and sentencing regime that you'll see in a matter of weeks, you're also going to see investments in the front line with 1,000 new RCMP officers, 1,000 new border officials, and more prosecutors. But we also have a view of the long-term need to prevent crime by making investments upstream that will tackle opportunities to pull at-risk youth out of the system, to invest in supportive housing, and to deal with mental health and addictions. But I think it's clear that we need to take action to toughen Canada's criminal laws to punish people who commit serious crimes.
Minister, Conservatives have introduced nearly 20 justice and public safety bills this Parliament alone on bail reform, sex assault, intimate partner violence, and organised crime, amongst others, while your government has tabled just 2. Are you going to support any private member bills introduced by the Conservative Party?
We don't have a blanket rule on supporting or rejecting bills based on the source of those proposed legal changes. We instead consider independently each of the measures that are brought forward by members, regardless of which party they may come from. I've had productive conversations, not only with you as my critic, Mr. Brock, with our colleague, Mr. Caputo, as well, and I'm willing to work in good faith. If there are certain challenges that cause us to believe that the proposed reforms will not make communities safe or would be blatantly unconstitutional,
Thank you, Minister.
I will have challenges.
Thank you, Minister. Will you commit today to repealing the principle of restraint under Section 493.1 of the Criminal Code to stop repeat violent offenders from being released back onto our streets? Yes or no?
You should expect to see changes to the way the principle of restraint is codified in the criminal code. I would point out that a repeal of the principle is not necessarily the appropriate language, given that the principle of restraint is recognized in common law and upheld by the Supreme Court of Canada.
So I'll take that as a no. Thank you, Minister.
And we will be making changes.
Thank you, Minister. Last month, in response to the Conservative announcement of the Stand on Guard policy, you tweeted out, quote, "This isn't the Wild West, it's Canada." Around the same time that you tweeted out this tone-deaf statement, in Hamilton alone, more than 80 shots rang out at bars after they were closing, leaving 3 injured. In Toronto, a 19-year-old was shot and killed in a mall bathroom. 2 17-year-olds were charged. In Ottawa, a Jewish woman in her 70s was stabbed and sent to hospital just for being Jewish. In Calling Lake, Alberta, a man wanted on a Canada-wide arrest warrant was charged in a violent home invasion where the homeowner was shot and killed. If these and thousands of other crime stories that are happening around this country on a weekly basis aren't indicative of the Wild West, what would meet your definition, sir?
This is an important conversation. Canadians should know that they have the right to defend themselves under the law in their homes if they are faced with such circumstances as you've described. And they have the ability to use force to do so when it is reasonably necessary. Jurisdictions that have adopted the proposal that you've suggested have not become more safe and have created new dangers. And just a few weeks ago in Texas, there was a 12-year-old boy killed by someone who thought he might have been an invader when he was playing Nicky Nicky Nine Door. You hear stories about people who are mistaken for invaders, who are delivering packages. What we're saying is where there is a set of circumstances that is unreasonable, the police should be able to make an independent decision. The law that was put in place by Stephen Harper, and it's a law that I actually support. You have the right to defend yourself in your home. I would remind colleagues that we have an opportunity to discuss the hate legislation that we brought forward. I hope subsequent questioners will take that issue as seriously as the government does.
Thank you, Minister.
As a European, I am a European,
European.
actually.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
oh.
I'm Irish citizen. Yeah, so there you
welcome.
go.
Welcome.
Speaking as a European.
WTF.
Here, here.
How many kids did you molest with Jeffrey Epstein?
More than just elbows.
And as the most European of the non-European countries.
Being aware of what potential conflicts of interest you
What
sought
possible
to avoid.
conflict would you have, Stephanie? Stephanie, I'm complying with the rules. I'm complying with the rules in advance. Confiance.
These are Muslim values. These are Canadian values.
Hi, everyone. Congratulations, you're spending more money on taxes than on food, clothing, and shelter combined.
Hey, that's something everyone can enjoy.
All right, gang, thank you all very much for watching. Aaron, Canadian Looney, like, share, subscribe. Smash that subscribe. We're trying to grow this thing. Canadian Federal Politics. Get yours right here. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video.